Well, what a week we've had to all you Winning Ways Show fans. And as we all say, please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, you'll get all our shows through the week. And this week we're going to have a very interesting week of shows because we're going to be chatting to Louis Goosen, who certainly knows his stuff and is quite an outspoken lad, about various formats in the industry. We'll talk to him about handicapping and all types of vets fees and find out his take on all these things. So every week, every day, we're going to be uploading a part of a show on Louis Goosen. We're going to be doing that, and not as part of this show, because this show we're going to not have anyone in the studio left. We're just going to talk about everything that's going on.
Absolutely.
Been a good week.
Yeah, it's been
Spurs
a good
fans?
week. Sorry?
Spurs fans?
Spurs rubbish. Absolutely rubbish.
Arsenal?
Yeah,
Rubbish?
we closed the point on you because you lost and we drew. We should have
Big
been
deal.
We should have been slaughtered. But there were some great games. You know, United played well and they got their deserved 3 points. Chelsea keep rolling on. And in the big derby, obviously, on Sunday evening, controversial because VAR, came into play, the VAR.
We've got a picture of that. Let's see what
Yeah, just have a look at this photo that we've got.
Yeah,
and
I can't make it out at all.
See, now, the top photo is the Champions League final. The game's 2 minutes old. Salah tries to clip the ball and hits the shoulder and top of the arm of Sissoko, penalty. The bottom photo is hitting him on the elbow so far down against Man City, nothing given. All you want is consistency, James.
But that seems to be a problem. This VAR is a big, big problem.
On the penalty calls, it is, James, you've got a situation where the Champions League, they haven't even had a hiccup. That's it. The ball hits your arm in any position, except if you stand in a wall, a free kick wall, and they kick it against you, where your body would have been in the way, then it's not. But if your arm's out here and out there, and ball hits it, no grey area, it's a penalty. So you've got to play with your hands in or out.
But isn't it to do with the referee's call? If the referee gives it no penalty,
James,
then
people mustn't forget, everything ends with VAR. Everything ends with VAR. Ref can say what he likes. He can put on a tutu.
No, but I've seen incidents, where the ref has said no penalty, because the guy's been the other day he had his foot on the other guy's foot,
Yeah, that's right. But
they went down. The guy said no penalty, so they play on, and the commentators say, well, it goes with what the ref says, and this is clear and obvious.
Whenever VAR comes in on anything that's taken to VAR, it's their call. Ref can say what he likes. Penalty, no penalty, offside. VAR makes the call.
Well, Pippa's thrilled.
And the guy who runs the VAR is an ex-ref.
Yeah.
So it's wrong. You've got to have an ex-footballer, and if he doesn't toe the line, he doesn't get it right, replace him. It's like a judge. You've got to get it right. And England are really suffering. Really suffering. There's so many incidents.
It's actually I don't think it's doing the game any good.
No, there are benefits. You say,
there's no doubt. But I saw these guys drawing lines of whether the guy was offside and his shoulder was just offside or wasn't, his foot. The one guy's foot was over the line. Okay. Yeah, but he was patently onside. The rest of his body was onside.
They're making the rule that any part of your body is in front of the next guy. Again, I thought Liverpool got a legit goal the other day, but they said no, the guy was offside. So it's I don't know, James. But
that's right. That was a Liverpool goal.
That's right. And the guy whose foot was over was Sheffield United against Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Spurs. Oof. But anyway, that's the soccer. It's made the league tight because Man City now fourth.
What's tight about it? I told you Liverpool will win in a common canter. At the beginning of the season, the middle of the season, the end of the season, it will be a one-horse race.
Remember these. Please record this.
We've recorded every week.
We record this every week.
Yeah.
They're 8 clear, I think, of Chelsea. One swing. But anyway, you're the great golfer. 6 people in the playoff.
Unbelievable.
That's unusual, Jim.
Yeah. And a lot of them are coming to Sun City this week. There's the big Nedbank Challenge this week, which has grown in stature. It's a European tour event, and it's always a wonderful event. When I lived in Joburg, I never missed. Always got invited to go and play, go there and play with Gary Players there with all his mates. Gary, I think 84th birthday he had the other day. Yeah. We want to break our age. Yeah. He breaks his age by about 10 every time. 10 or 15. He's fantastic. Anyway, it's a great week, and it's hosted by Gary, and Tyrrell Hatton got up to win. And the sport was very, very poor this weekend, apart from soccer. There's nothing else.
Right. Nothing much else.
Pirates are
Chiefs beat Pirates first time in a long time. 3-2.
I can't wait for Benny McCarthy to come to Pirates.
Do you think you get the Pirates job?
Benny McCarthy's coming to Pirates. I'm telling you.
Well, you got the boot from Cape Town.
Well, you won a Telkom knockout or something cup with them, and then they get the boot. I mean, what do you expect from him?
He had gone through a bad patch. That's why he got the boot.
Everyone goes through a bad patch. I'm going through one at the moment. Can we give you a couple of horses we should be looking at to follow? Because we've seen a couple that we really think you should have a look at. Let's start with Cape Town, and we go to Kenilworth on Tuesday. And this was a filly that Dennis took down. I think he opened his account down there with this filly, Crosset. I ran in a barrier trial, and I ran a cracking barrier trial. Let's go and pick it up at the start. It was odds on, and it deserved to be odds on. This filly can run like hell.
Yeah, this is very impressive from Vos and Tina Var. Sean Veal rides it from, Cyber Blossom and Joyful Trip show pace to get into the race with this horse, Crosset. But it was official price 8-11, and for the last part of the race, Jim, it just draws away from them.
Lovely filly, really beautiful filly, and they said that Susan said she'd given it to Dennis because he'd been very good with the VAR fillies. Well, we know that, and Dennis very good with the fillies. Beach Beauty would spring to mind, but this filly ran in a barrier trial at Greyville, and I mean, at Scottsville, it was a fabulous barrier trial. Got beaten by Mohican, touched off, showed a lot of pace.
Mohican's that good horse of
Conference ran second in Joburg. We picked out a horse out of that barrier trial. That's why the barrier trials, we want barrier trials countrywide. I'm doing my best to sort it out.
Okay, you keep pushing. I hope you get it.
Keep getting it. Anyway, because without a barrier trial, you don't know anything about this horse. It's still going to be 11 to 8,
correct.
but at least you've seen it in a barrier trial in the flesh. Right, we move on to a horse I picked out that I think you really should have a very close look at for the big 3-year-old races this season. To me, this is the best 3-year-old I've seen in Cape Town. And he won in a common canter. Let's go and pick up Kulandini. Winning his second race of his career. I think it was his 4th start. But there he is in the black and red. Yeah, Killandini.
They would have it Killandini. I think it's Killandini.
Killandini,
yeah. Pierre Cornelhofer rides it and he drops him in. Brandenburg goes off the front to make it a good race. Hurricane Harry is in the cap on the outside, the pink cap, all in line. They're all up there. And Pierre Cornelhofer drops this horse into joint second last. And a good few lengths off the pace. They go steady, a good gallop, I should say, here. And I think it helps Killandini. He's trained by Brett Crawford.
Take a pull there.
Pierre Cornelhofer, and it's a Silvano, Jim.
Yeah, he's bred by Fast Fontaine. He was a 2.8 million rand yearling, so he's a beautiful horse. But he can run this horse. I was so impressed with this because the horse that looked like the main danger was Hurricane Harry. He's a 3-year-old as well, and he gave him 4 kilos. Now, at this time of the year, for one 3-year-old to give another decent 3-year-old 4 kilos and a hammering, which is what he did.
That's a very smart horse, Jim. You found one here.
Yeah, he comes out. Hurricane Harry's right in front of him at the moment in Dick Johnson's colours. And this horse just angles out, and without actually taking a deep breath, he just, as one of the commentators said, inhales them.
Yeah, he walked past them.
Well, he certainly cantered past them. Hands and heels, never given the hard push, and I think this horse is very, very useful.
Yeah, very smart. Very
7 furlongs, he's going to get better with a bit of a trip. Look for him when he goes over a mile or so. And the next one we found was we went to Turfentine on the inside track on Thursday, and Mike de Kock stepped out at Dynasty. I was a little concerned about his chances when I saw that the publication said that he only had an each-way chance. Well, he won like a horse that had more than an each-way chance. Let's go and pick him up at the start. Oscar Wilde. Beautifully named.
Yeah, Oscar Wilde. What a genius, eh?
Beautifully named by one of the greatest orators of all time and writers. And he's in the black and orange colours, about 7th. Owned by Michael Javid and Mary Slack, and he was bred by Maritz Fontaine and Volker Bostrup. So he's a beautiful horse. He's got a lot of ability, this horse.
Yeah, Thunderbolt Lane is gone off the front. Trent Masters up there. There's good speed in this race, and funny enough, Jim, the runner-up I tried to buy. And that's a very nice horse. But Oscar Wilde, you'll spot him in the middle, and Oscar works his way through to win a very good race. There was drawn 6 originally, but this Linty's Legacy is the Crusader who runs second from off them.
Not Linty, Lint's Legacy. Must be named after Lint, Lint Ryan.
It is, Linty. I know all about the horse. Linty's Legacy.
Yeah.
And runs a very good race too. But Gavin gets his horse to Quicken, and Quickens up well here, this Dynasty, Jim, Oscar Wilde. Suddenly he's got his nose in front.
Yeah, he's there on the inside, and he just gets on with the job. He looks like he's very, very green. He doesn't know what it's all about. And the horse in the light blue colours runs up to him. This horse on the outside, Lynch Legacy, runs on well, but now he gets the hang of it, this horse, and he goes on to win quite cozily.
Yeah, nice horse, well bred.
I think he's going to be a horse that's going to win some races, this horse.
No doubt, Jim.
Like him a lot. Really interesting racing, the horses to follow. And we thought, there's many people out there ask us to try and analyze races and give us more horses to follow. Well, we had the first barrier trial in KZN for 2-year-olds on Sunday, yesterday. And it threw up a slew of Michael Miller's horses, and Com Naidu and Gareth Van Zyl had one in each. Now, the horse that Gareth Van Zyl galloped ran in this barrier trial, I think is real class. I think this is a beautiful horse, and I would be very keen on following this horse wherever he goes. There were a couple of others in the barrier trial that ran pretty well. Let's go and pick them up at the start, and we'll talk you through it so that you can see what happens in barrier trials and maybe learn the benefit of actually ending up watching these things.
Yeah, this horse is called Prince Cresh. It's by What a Winter out of a Silvano mare.
He fell out the pens.
Yeah, he's not too fast speed. One of Michael Miller's horses is very quick. I think it's Whispering Wave. That goes with it's very quick. This is 4 furlongs on the turf at Greyville, and it's really quick. And it's on the inside fence, very green, this Prince Cresh. You'll see it in the yellow cap.
Yellow and blue colours. You'll see the horse in the club colours, the all blue, which is Panoramic View of Mike Miller's, the Pathful. That goes through on the inside, but that's getting a hard push. Watch him pushing that along. This horse is cantering. He's absolutely in the hands, this horse. And he moves up well. The horse next door to him is Com Naidu's horse, which is getting a bit of a push. So that's nearly up there with him. The lead horse stayed on quite well, so that's worth having a look at. And when you watch the head-on, I don't know if we're going to be able to watch the head-on, that gives you a very good idea of exactly what's going on, but we've got no head-on, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, this was impressive, Prince Cresh.
When you watch the barrier trials, go and watch the head-ons and watch the effort that jockey's putting in, or lack of effort. Because I believe barrier trials from the 400, you should be pushing them out. Every horse should be pushed out.
That's right.
Anyway, very interesting to see a 2-year-old barrier trial. And let me tell you this, What a Winter. I'll tell you who bred it. Bull and Stud, our friend Eugene Freeman bred it. This is a serious racehorse. To see a horse like this come out in barrier trial.
We must try and show them the 2-year-old barrier trials, the better ones. It's very interesting because this looks a smart horse.
Very, very nice horse. Right, let's move on and see what we've got in the Fasig Tipton. Big sale there. And everything about level. There was no real big improvers. The top prices were down, but the average was more or less level. The ready-to-run sale wasn't anywhere close.
Yeah, it was down a bit.
Way down.
There was a 1.3 million, I believe, a Futura.
Yeah, went on the ready-to-run sale. Yeah. Just on Fasig Tipton, we talked about Blue Pride last week, Blue Prize. She's the Argentine filly that Ignacio Pavlovsky bred and won the Breeders' Cup.
That's right.
And she was sold for $5 million.
After the race?
Yeah, she went through the Fasig Tipton ring at $5 million.
Sure.
5 million. Anyway, Spendthrift announced its fees, and 2 horses that won Breeders' Cups are going to Spendthrift. One is Vino Rosso, who won the Classic. He's standing at $30,000. And the other one was Mitol, who won the Sprint.
Yeah.
And he's standing at $25,000. So look, both very reasonably priced.
That's
Vino Rosso's won 4 Group 1s.
Yeah.
And he's standing at $30,000. The top price, I think, is Curlin. He's a sire of Vino Rosso. He's getting the most money. Almond Eye, best filly in the world at the moment.
Yeah, I'd go with that. What I saw her do in Dubai, I realized how talented she is. Where's she going next?
She's going to Hong Kong. They decided they're not going for the Japan Cup, Group 1. They're going to Hong Kong for the Hong Kong Cup. Now, that's a big, big move because the Japan Cup's worth more money.
Yes.
And she won it already.
She's won it. She's done that, yeah.
And they decided they're going to go and take on the Hong Kong boys. So if the riots and that don't have any effect on the racing. So that's a bit difficult. But just talking about the travelling, the shocking news during the week was that Mike de Kock wants to take Socrates to the Cape.
For the Met?
For whatever.
Yeah.
Okay? And there's a horse being reported within 30 kilometres of Rheinkiesfontein that's had horse sickness. Okay, that's been reported. No one even knows if it's true.
Yeah.
Okay, and as a result, okay, everything comes to a halt. Now, my question, and I only have one question.
Only one.
Yeah, this has now been going on for 20 years. We know nowhere closer to exporting horses, I don't think. Okay, because Todd certainly hasn't got hold of us. He's in charge. Okay, Toddy, we're waiting for you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Any
and
news?
secondly, these antiquated rules that they put in place years and years and years ago, surely they should have been addressed and got rid of.
Yeah,
There's
listen,
all types of things like
I
surveillance
agree.
zones and things like that which just don't work.
I listened to Mike de Kock after Socrates won. I listened to the interview, and he said, if we're trying to get our export protocols in place, which we've been doing for the last 2 decades, and we can't even get our
the internal stuff done.
Then he said, we've got nowhere to go overseas.
It's pathetic.
He was angry about it, but are they reviewing it? What is the latest, Jim? Do you know anything?
No one, I don't know. They all tell me how much they're doing, but they spend most of the time flying around the world.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make is, will Socrates get to the Met and the races they decide upon?
Who knows? There's this rule in place, that's it. You're not allowed to travel.
How long? Who knows?
It just depends.
Yeah.
It depends on the state vet and what they all decide.
Yeah, these have got to be
crazy.
Haven't
This
we
is
got
our own
PC,
country. We can't
PCR
travel.
tests that are
You know what?
tear
Because
us.
we've got this. It's a really ridiculous system. The system's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Address the system, and then go and address everyone outside and tell them we've sorted out our internal policies and what we're doing, and now we're coming to see you to sort out that we can get horses exported.
Yeah.
But they can't even get the internal
But
policies
Jim,
sorted out.
it would affect the Cape Summer season such a great degree if you had, I'm just saying, the Terrys of this world, the de Kocks, the guys who've got the big horses who are going down, and then suddenly they can't go down. Whoa.
Wow.
That is interesting.
You know what?
So let's try to get some more news now.
Yeah.
If we get a gap, we speak to Mark, see if there's a quarantine period, see if they're lifting it. I'm a bit in the dark on this one.
Yeah. Well, no one, everyone's in the dark, and it always has been. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. Just Christoph Simeon, our great friend, rode 3 winners in Japan, including the
Group
Queen
1.
Elizabeth, Group 1. So well done to him. And then Melbourne Cup. Okay. Now, every year I turn around and say the Australians will never win another Melbourne Cup.
I remember that.
Well done, Danny O'Brien. Came out of a
cobalt.
Came out of a cobalt, complete, a nightmare with the cobalt, Danny O'Brien, and won the Melbourne Cup with an Australian.
Yeah, and they've always pushed him. I think Joseph O'Brien took 4 horses out.
They're not the same O'Briens.
No, Danny
They're
and
all
Joseph.
different O'Briens.
Aidan and Joseph
are the same.
Yeah,
The Irish O'Briens.
The
Irish cabbage heads, as Indian Charlie calls them.
Who do you call him?
Indian Charlie calls them the Irish cabbage heads. But the cabbage heads.
Interesting to note the pedigrees. A couple of Frankels, Galileo. What was the other one? Teofilio. I couldn't believe the pedigrees that came through every single time.
Well, there were 22 of the 24 horses were overseas horses.
And they couldn't win it.
And they didn't win it. The Australians won it.
There was no objection.
Yeah, well, let's go and watch the last 600, and we'll talk our way through it because we've got no sound on it. Let's just talk our way through it because here this horse that wins is in the pink on the inside.
Yes,
absolutely, and they've gone a canter.
Canter, yeah.
Okay, so that gets a break. Craig Williams,
Brilliant
ride. He gets it through on the fence. How he gets a gap there, I don't know.
Well, they drift off.
They drift off, which gives him the chance. Frankie looks like he's going for home and Heo Silva.
Yeah,
but he then runs across onto everyone. I mean, this is a disaster of a race. Prince of Arran ends up getting second. But watch Frankie goes right across him, whoosh, and suddenly...
sure, it's a close finish.
Yeah. There's Frankie now, almost got his head in front, but he does that horse running on the inside. And that's it. And it's amazing that horse stayed on to win this chestnut.
Yeah.
That's really 23 out of 24.
By declaration of war, the Tessa Rosa me.
Yeah. Look at them. The boys are having a full go.
The Aussies are back.
Aussies are back.
Aussies vow and declare.
I think they're brilliant. And unfortunately, our boys was
after
didn't
2
feature.
miles, there wasn't that much between them, but I think the slow pace ensured that, Jim.
Yeah, slow pace was a complete disaster. But I must say, I thought Williams rode.
And we had Brahm there. Their horse never fired.
Brahm and Billy, yeah, well, that's what I said. Our boys, you know, they
Brahm and Billy. Great excitement to have a runner.
Oh, to be at the Melbourne Cup.
Fantastic.
Unbelievable.
Bamboo Brown had a runner.
As that's it,
yeah.
Bamboo
Brown.
Mike the Cock had a runner.
That's right, yeah.
We've had runners there before, but things don't look
now.
like they're anywhere closer now. In fact, they're a hell of a lot further away. We're going to call it a day there. And
back with Louis.
Well, what happens is that you're going to have to go onto the new link to go and see Louis' show because this show is now over. Please subscribe. Get your mates to share it with everyone. And let's get this show up and popular because that's what it is. There are many people out there don't know how to get on our show. Please share it with your friends and show them how to get on the show. And every day there are going to be updates. So once you've subscribed to the show, you press the alarm, which is the little bell next to the subscribe button, and as soon as we upload something, it will be you'll be notified, and you'll be able to go and watch it. And we're going to have a very interesting week of interviews with Louis Hoersen. Enjoy them.